Hey guys, my name's Kyle. I got my cameraman, Mr. Allen. We're going to show you how to disassemble and reassemble the Glock 23 40 caliber. I've had this gun for about a year, and thought I might show you guys how to take apart this thing, as well as some part recognition. You know, I learned everything about disassembly on YouTube, so I thought I'd pay it forward. So here we go. Let's start with some part recognition. At the top, we've got our slide. Alright, our slide lock right here. This is just going to nick up into this nick at the slide. That's what keeps it back. Okay, our magazine release. Push down on it, and the magazine comes out. No bullets. Very good. On the other side, we have our ejection chamber, our rear sight, our front sight, trigger, our safety, and these are just basically your external components. Okay? This is your slide release, by the way. So, 4 rules of a gun. You do not point the gun at anything you're not willing to destroy. Keep your finger off the trigger until you are ready to fire and you are on target. Know your target and beyond, and most importantly, always assume your gun is loaded. So, let's start with taking apart the slide. So, we're going to dry fire, point it down on the ground, there we go, wrap our hand around, just like this, pull back just a little bit, take our fingers, we're going to pinch down on the slide release, okay, just like this, and pull down on it. Simultaneously releasing the slide, and the slide comes right off. Easy as butter. So, recoil spring just comes right out. Barrel comes right out. Now, we have here our firing pin. Okay? We're going to lift up on the shiny part of the firing pin until you hear the little click. Alright. Take a little punch that I have here. Go just under the shiny part and push down on it. Just like that. Okay? Now, as you're pushing down on it, you put your thumb on the backing plate right here, and you want to pull out. So, push down on it and pull out. There you go. What we're doing is we're holding down the firing pin to keep it from flying up. So, here's your firing pin. That comes right out. Our extractor plunger with the white tip. That comes right out. Always remember which way it went in. Plastic goes to plastic, and metal to metal. Okay? So put that aside. We have our firing pin safety right here. We just push down on that, and our extractor comes out. Put that aside. Safety pin just comes right out. And this is about the extent of what you can take apart on the slide itself. So this is giving you the ability to really clean and really lube up and detail, get all of the muck out of your slide and get it ready. So that's that. Now we have 3 pins on the main gun. We have the one that holds the trigger assembly, the locking block pin at the top, and then our master pin at the bottom. So, oops. So let's start with the trigger assembly pin back here. Just push on that with my little punch. It comes right off. Put that aside. Take out the locking block pin at the top. Just going to push. That comes right out. And then the master pin down here. Just push. Comes right out. Very good. Alright, so now our locking block, this silver part, okay, we're just going to take our punch, go under it, and then lift up. There we go. And that just comes right out. Our actual slide lock, you just take this, and it just comes right out. Okay. Our trigger assembly, lift up just right here. The whole trigger assembly comes right out. And unless you want to get into changing out the mag release, which I'm not going to on this video, you would be working in down here. And there's additional parts to that as well, but I'm not going to get into that. So this is your full strip of this part. So now let's get into the reassembly. So on the slide, first thing, we have our extractor. Remember the cylinder part? That's going to go more towards the aft. It's just going to put right there. And as it's in there, we're going to put in our firing pin safety pin right back down in here. Push down on it, push down on the pin until it's locked. It's locked in there. It's not some Loctite grip, but it's in there. White part at the top, extractor plunger, goes right back down in. Firing pin, remember, all you lube happy people out there that want to make sure that the whole gun is like lubed up, do not lube this. This is your firing pin. This should be very dry. Okay? You want to keep this dry and clean. So make sure that your firing pin chamber down here is clean as well. Stick a Q-tip down there, get all the muck out. You want to make sure this is dry and clean. This just goes right straight down. Very good. In order to get the backing plate on, it gets a little tricky. So what we're going to do is we're going to start it right here and put a little thumb pressure. Alright? We're going to take a device and we're going to push down on the firing pin itself. Just push down on that black part. And the slide moves up a little bit. And now push down on the plunger and the slide will go in all the way. Hear the little click? And it's in. Alright? We can put our barrel in now. And then our recoil spring. Make sure the pointy part, or the dome part, goes up front. And this goes all the way down into the second ledge, the bottom ledge. There's like a little ladder, so make sure it's on the bottom ledge. Alright, slide is assembled. Put that aside. Now here, we're going to start by putting in the trigger assembly. Just fits right in, just like a glove. Alright, nice click down, very good. Locking block, fits right here. Little down pressure here. Make sure it's flush. Okay, our slide lock right here. This is, people want to know exactly where the heck this goes. It goes all the way to the left side here. You have your trigger right here. It goes all the way to the left against the wall. Okay? Just like this. Very good. Alright. Now, we're going to put the trigger assembly pin in first because it likes to rise during assembly. Alright, so that's in. Next, we're going to put in the top pin first. It's the smaller of the two. So we'll start it, but we run into a little problem. You see this slide lock right here? It has that spring. So this gets in the way of the pin actually going into the hole. So what we need to do is have a device to actually push down on this pin in order for the actual pin itself to be going right over the top of it into and through the gun. So when I push this in, when I put this back in, I'm going to be pushing down on the spring while simultaneously pushing the pin right over the top of it. Okay? So the pin's all there. I'm going to push down on that spring, and with the other hand, I'm going to be pushing forward on that pin. Oops. That happens. I'll keep my finger on it. Alright. There we go. Oops. Huh. Well, start over. Alright. A little tricky. pushing down on the pin, or the spring, and pushing forward on the pin. There we go. Alright, finally is the master pin down here. I want to make sure that hole is clear. I'm going to look down at first, because this slide lock has a hole in it that goes right through here, so I want to make sure it's a nice perfect fit for this, and it just works right in. Perfect. And now it's reassembled. Simply match these two rails on the side, meet up with these two shiny parts in front of the locking block, and it just goes all the way back.